Okay, look, so I need a level with you here. So every morning I wake up and I check the news. And every morning I'm reminded that the vast majority of people on this planet should not be allowed to operate heavy machinery, or quite frankly, reproduce. And if you need a perfect example of this absolute human failure, here it is. So Valve, or like you guys might know them as the company behind Steam, is being sued. And the heinous, horrible crime they apparently committed was being too good. Okay, so this is no longer late stage capitalism. This is the my baby failed to win the spitting contest, so I'm suing the other baby's mom stage. So the plaintiff here is Wolfire Games, whose main claim to fame is a geriatric rabbit fighting simulator that peaked in popularity around the time people still had fucking dial-up internet. And they're suing the most functional service in gaming history because they couldn't compete. It's absolutely pathetic. Okay, so let's get into this. So, look, I get it. You hate the 30% cut, I guess. Everyone hates it. All developers, I guess. But the reason Steam gets to charge that 30% is because the market alternatives are the equivalent of a digital dumpster fire. Steam didn't win the market over through corporate espionage. They won by simply showing up and not shitting themselves. And while Valve was figuring out cloud saves for consoles that haven't even been invented yet, their competition was actively snorting paint, apparently. Okay, let's take the examples in the market right now, right? We've got Epic Games, who took 2 years to add a shopping cart. The Microsoft Store, which is the digital purgatory where these games go to die. And it's honestly less of a storefront right now and more of an unmarked mass graveyard for forgotten IPs. And these companies, and more companies like them, failed because they built dog shit and expected people to switch platforms like they're trading a functional kidney for a handful of dirt in a war-torn country. And the true terminal level of brain damage here is saying that the 30% cut is too high. Like you're complaining about paying the entrance fee to the largest audience in PC history. Dude, that's the industry tax for being allowed to participate in the global economy and, not begging for scraps in a ditch somewhere, right? Like, if you want all these functional features, you want the cloud saves, you want the anti-cheat, the infrastructure, you need to pay the price. You can't pay the rent of, like, a derelict shed in Chernobyl. And the guy behind this lawsuit just has the business acumen of like a fucking cartoon villain. Like one who just ate a paint chip buffet, apparently. Because like, you take fucking Gustavo Fring and he ran a clandestine distribution network out of a fast food joint and still maintained cleaner, more functional logistics than some of these indie developers. The lack of perspective here is just honestly so terminal, I don't think you could cure it with a firing squad. It's like arguing they shouldn't have to pay for an abortion because you were too lazy to use a condom. So yeah, Epic Games, again, let's go back to that example, I guess, is they're taking a 12% cut and losing like $400 million a year last time I checked, trying to bribe users with free games that are like 90% awful. It's a slow, financially assisted suicide fueled by Tim Sweeney's profound insecurity and compensation for someone else that's a little tiny. He's hemorrhaging cash pretty much just to maintain the illusion of competition while tweeting about monopolies from his mansion surrounded by the corpses of the studios that he tried to acquire. So yeah, this lawsuit is just pure uncut legal grade cope. It's pretty much the entitled scream of a developer who lost a race and now is suing the track for being structurally biased against slow runners. It's the legal equivalent of looking at your flop of a game and saying, "Oh, it's not that my game has only sold 11 copies. It's the universe conspiring against my geriatric rabbit fighting simulator." And that's the kind of delusion you usually find scrawled on the walls of a padded cell. You're just looking for someone else to blame for your own deficiency. And they're also literally arguing that the price parity is anti-competitive. They want to use Steam's massive audience and infrastructure, but sell it cheaper on a launcher that probably needs like 27 dependencies to even run. Shocking revelation. Businesses don't like when you try to leech off their billion-dollar servers for free. It's not anti-competitive, it's called a basic transaction. The entitlement is honestly so thick you could choke on it. Like, okay, I shouldn't say that one. This whole thing is admitting that they just can't compete. They're walking into a courtroom, dropping their trousers, and admitting to the judge, "Your Honor, we are fundamentally bad at business. So please, please, for the love of God, make the successful person weaker so we feel better about ourselves." And they want the government to kneecap Valve so their geriatric rabbit game can limp across the finish line. The market decided that Steam wins. Their service is so good that people voluntarily keep using it. The lawsuit is arguing that natural selection is an illegal practice in the gaming industry, and it's so pathetic. The lawsuit is dog shit, and I hope Overgrowth gets delisted just for the sheer cosmic irony of it. And that's all I guess I really wanted to say about that. So, thanks.